pure deliciousness, man.
My name is Banky, man. Everybody calls me Banky. That's the name that I got from my grandmother when I was young. I'm coming out here after 30 years. Yeah, I ain't got nothing, but I'm gonna have something because I'm rich in personality, you know, and I'm rich in love. My family love me, and that's really all that counts.
Shout out to everybody out there on Team Banky Pam, man. Much love, man. Much appreciation. We back again with some more, man. This is gonna be a good one, a real good one, as far as I'm concerned, because of the dynamics, the different twists and turns that go with this type of video, man. I've been trying to put this one together for a minute. I just keep on getting pulled in another direction, doing other things, but I think this is a video that y'all might want to know about because there's a lot of things that go on in there that concerns, you know, gambling and this thing we call poker. But before we do all of that, man, I'd like to thank all of y'all who subscribed. I'd like to thank all of y'all that rock with me all the time. Team Banky Pam, stand up. But also, man, I need you to check your status and see if you is subscribed. If you ain't, please go ahead, take the time and hit that button and go ahead and subscribe. Share these videos, like these videos. It helps the video, it helps the page, it helps the channel. So hopefully y'all do that, and we're gonna grow this thing as big as it can get and spread this good positive energy all over everywhere. Appreciate you. TBP, love y'all. With that being said, man, let's talk about this poker thing, man. This poker thing, that's what I call it, because it is a crazy thing, man. I first got introduced to poker, man, in the jail. I was in the jail, man, and you know, I don't know how it is for everybody else, but I'm assuming that, you know, when you locked up like that and you in the jails or prisons or whatever, it's so bored, and the boredom is so great that you seek other things to cure the boredom. You try to do other things to get your mind off of your situation, get your mind off of the problems that you have, you know, in your life, and you can't get away from it because you're in a confined environment. So you look for ways, for outlets, man, to let that energy out. And for a lot of dudes, man, it becomes gambling or it becomes poker. And I started out first playing Tonk, right? I was in the jail, man. They used to play Tonk, man. Dudes used to get down there and play the Tonk, and they used to gamble with Tonk, you know. If y'all don't know what Tonk is, you know, it's hard to explain, but it's a little game. I'm quite sure a lot of y'all out there know about it. But it's a little game where you just had to get spreads and everything and Tonk out, you know, try to get matches and all this and all that. But dudes would gamble with that in there almost every day. So I used to watch at first, just be a sideline spectator like everybody else. But then, like I say, the boredom get setting in, you know, you get to working out, you know, you can only work out for so long. You know, you use the phone, you lay down, you eat. It's just routine every day. So then you want to play cards. You know, a lot of times they play spades, they get partners, and dudes play spades, they gamble at that too. But when you get into the dorms or something in prison, which I learned, in jail, which I learned after jail, never to ever want to be in a dorm again. And that's what happened when I went to prison. Jail had taught me I would never want to be in a dorm, and I never was in a dorm the whole time I was in prison due to the way I seen the way dorms was ran in jail. You know, in a dorm, you just in this great big environment where you don't have a cell that you can lock up at night where can't nobody be in there with you but you, or either you and your cell partner. In a dorm, you're in an open setting, it might be 30, 40 people in there in a jail, but in prison, it might be 100. So you got all of these people that got access to you while you sleep. They can walk up on you and do something to you while you sleep. You got no privacy whatsoever. So that ain't work for me. Cause you know, you may have a problem in the daytime, somebody might want to sell it at nighttime. So when you sleep. So I couldn't live like that. The paranoia alone in prison is too great, let alone to be sitting in a dorm where you really have no type of protection on you when you sleep. When you up and you conscious, you know, you your own self-defense. But when you sleep it can't nothing defend you, man. You're on your own. So I didn't like that at all. But and then when you get in the dorm, it was more so when I remember they put me in a dorm because I was moving around in the jail like crazy, man, fighting and stuff for stupid stuff. People say something to you, I ain't know nobody, ain't nobody know me, so somebody say something to me or bump into you or, mean mug you, say, you do what you gotta do. Boop, boop. You know what I'm saying? And that caused me to get moved around a little bit. So when I end up getting in a dorm, man, they was playing poker in the dorm. And every day that was the main event, poker. Dudes getting their money together. They talk about, man, what time the game gonna start, man, we play poker, man. Everybody playing, you playing, this play. So I used to just sit back and watch because I ain't know the dynamics of poker. But all I knew, it was exciting. Dudes was you'd be yelling and screaming when it was going on, man. Dudes arguing and fussing, fighting, over the money disputes and over hands and betting. So I wanted to learn, because I was intrigued. And I see that, like I say, it was excitement in a boredom place. So I watched from the sideline first, and I remember a dude, man, he said, man, you want to learn how to play poker, man? I said, yeah, man, I want to learn how to play poker. Big mistake. I wish I could unlearn it now, because, man, that was the beginning of me, messing with that poker thing for years and decades, man. And it's a dangerous, addictive game, man. Very addictive, very dangerous game to play, especially in a place like prison or jail, man. But he was teaching me, the hands, what hand beat this hand, what hand beat that hand, the games, the different type of games they play, straight poker, 7-card poker, Texas Hold'em, all these different type of games you had to learn. So I used to sit in there. He made me a little card and paper and show me all the different hands. So I sit in there, study the hands, watch them play, till eventually I'm in the game. I'm playing, And, jail and prison is the same thing. You limited on the money you got. The only money you got in jail or prison is the money that people, your loved ones sending you. So you can't really afford to be losing that because you don't know, when next money coming. Plus, you ain't trying to lose your people hard-earned money in there on some, some foolishness that you ain't get to eat. They saying that money to eat, put in your stomach, man, take care, you get the things you need. So it's a hard thing to do, man. It's to sit there and lose that and then turn around and have to ask for some more money, knowing that you didn't use the money for what they sent it to you for. So it's just a crazy dynamic, man. So I can remember, man, when I first started playing, it was exciting, man. It was super exciting. When I won my first hand, I was like, oh, okay, this easy, you know what I'm saying? This easy right here. And then, you got to learn the dynamics of poker. You got to learn the psychology of it, the bluffing, the snatching, what we call you snatching, you acting like you got a hand that you don't really got, or dudes trying to outbet you because they feel like they got more money than you and you feel like you under pressure and you think you got a good hand, but he betting so much money, it makes you change your thought process like, hey, well, can I beat him? And then you're thinking about losing the money that you might lose if you call it bad, but you're thinking you got a good hand, but you don't know if he lying, if he telling the truth. It's just crazy dynamics. Your emotions and adrenaline be flowing so much because you don't know what's going on. It just creates such a adrenaline flow in you, man. It's unmatched. It's almost like boxing, man, like the sport where you get hit and it's just an adrenaline rush, man. And it's addictive. It's addictive, man. Especially when you get that adrenaline rush and you actually win a hand. It makes you feel like, oh, man. It's just like a great big relief, man. But when you lose a hand too, it's the opposite. You feel anger. You feel, frustration. You feel, madness. So it's crazy, the emotions and the gauntlet that you run through of your emotions when you playing poker. I think that's part of the allure of it. I think that's why it's so big in the world. That's why they got poker tournaments, and it's just it's a crazy game. Whoever came up with it, man, I don't know. I don't know what they was thinking about when they came up with it, but they came up with something. So as I was playing and learning more and more, you know, it, like I said, it became addictive, man. I went from learning how to play to jumping out there and playing to now I'm playing almost every day, you know, like 6-7 days a week. You know, we playing poker, and most of the time it's for the majority of the day. You know, I'm winning a little bit, losing a little bit, winning a little bit, nothing major because, you know, the money is limited. We locked up, we in jail. Ain't nobody got no whole lot of money, but every now and then you get a dude to come through there that might got a lot of money, you know. So then everybody plotting on him, everybody trying to win his money. See, the game is got so much larceny with it that I don't think you could ever figure it out. I don't care how long you play, especially prison poker. I don't know what's going on in the real world when they playing these real big poker tournaments. I don't want to know, you know. But I know in prison the dynamics is so crazy. You got to watch the cheat. You got to, man, these dudes, man, they know how to mark cards. I mean, when I say mark cards, I mean it's on an intricate level, man. Dudes take razor blades and put little nicks or little marks on cards, whereas they the only ones who know what a mark is. They can look at it and see, and they know what the card is. They know what you got in your hand. Or, you know, you might have to draw a card. They can look at the top of the deck and see that the card is marked, and the card that you get is a bad card. And then they can just stay where they at and bet you out because they know you got a bad card. No matter what you bet, they're going to outbet you because they feel like they know you ain't got nothing. They know you bluffing because they know the card is in your hand. So you got to be able to see that, be able to detect that. You got dudes that come to the games. They play as partners. They bring another dude with the game. Their whole strategy is if he bet, then you bet. Then he gonna come behind you and raise you. Then he gonna raise. Well, you gonna look at the dynamics like both of them raising each other. Their hand must be really good. So make you evaluate your hand like your hand ain't that good. So you get out the way, and that's all they wanted anyway. Because either one of them that win, they just gonna split the money anyway. So you got to be able to notice that. You got to be able to detect that. I mean, it's just so much, man. It's so much. You have some dudes that don't like dudes standing around poker table because if you're not gambling, you know, they call that swallowing bets. You stand around the table just looking, swallowing bets. They want you to stand at a distance. They don't even want you to stand close to the table when people playing poker because they feel like you looking in the back of somebody's hand and the dude that's in the game over there is his partner, and you might be giving them signals like he ain't got nothing, or oh, he bluffing, oh, he got something. So all of that be going on as well. So you not only got to watch this, you got to watch that. Then you got dudes that's like magicians, man. They got this sleight of hand thing. They can grab cards and palm cards in their hand and have extra cards. Or, man, it's just, it is a larceny filled game, man, where so much stuff is going on at the same time that you have to be able to see all of that, counter all of that, and still try to be productive and still try to win. And then you still may not win, and then you're going to feel like you cheated. You're going to feel like somebody got over on you. So it's just too much going on. Then you got to ask yourself, knowing all of this, why would you play? Why would you play when you know all of this? It's the adrenaline rush. It's the ego. It's the you think you can still beat the odds. It's like the lottery, I guess. You think you could get a lot for nothing, and you could outthink these, but it's a lot, man. Trust me when I tell you, it is a lot, and it's crazy, and it's vicious, because when the chips fall and people lose, they get mad. Even if they always gonna feel like they got cheated. They always gonna feel like something went on that they couldn't catch. There's no way I could just be losing like this. Something going on. You get that feeling. I've got the feeling a lot. Even and you never know if you've been cheated or not. If you can't actually catch it, you never know. So when you lose, you mad, you irritated, you frustrated, you lost all your money, then you sitting there maybe like in jail or prison, you ain't got no more money, you can't go back and get back in the game, you gotta wait, see if you get some more money. Money might not even be coming in until next week. So the stuff that you lost is gone. Chopped up, ate up, spent up, it's gone. So it's just crazy, man. And then like I say, when dudes lose straight up, they mad. Then they walking around that day after they done lost their money, just mean mugging, looking for any reason to just take off on somebody, to just start something, to get out the frustration of what they done did to lose the money. You see what I'm saying? So that's how fights break out. Then dude might lose. He might want to try to take all the money back. He might want to just say, man, give me my money back. And dudes that's running the game, is always one person who running the game. He in control of the money, and the perks he get for running the game is he get a cut. He get a cut on every pot. He get a percentage of every pot. No matter what the pot is, he'll be able to get a percentage, like 10% or something. If the pot $100, he might take $10 out. So the person who's running the game is always at the advantage anyway. But he's also betting too. Now, if he's running the game and he know what he's doing, he should never lose money, because he should only play the hands that he know he could possibly win in. If not, he's setting back, he cutting money on every pot, so he generating money anyway. So at the end of the game, he should always be ahead, unless he a loose player and try to win everything, being greed. Greed is a big part of poker too. So he may try to be in every hand and try to win every hand as well as get the cut, so he can just come out. They call that like a round robin. He ran the game, he won everything, and he collected all the cut. He won everything. He beat everybody at the poker game. That's rare, but it happens. And then you get the dudes that run the poker game, they always try to be that one. They want to try to, oh, I want to win everything. I want it all. And that's what they do. But sometimes that'll get you late, because you'll be trying to do all of that, and what'll happen is you'll mess around and lose, and then you be losing money. You losing the cut and you losing your money. So at the end of the game, you not only didn't come ahead, but you got to pay out more yourself. When you running the game, you collecting money from everybody, so you got a kitty. We call it kitty. You got the pot. So whoever win at the end, you paying them from that. But when you done overstep your hand and bet too much and stepped out there and lost money, you going to have to pay out everything in the pot. Now the pot is gone and you got no surplus. Now you got to come out your pocket, because you owe everybody. Everybody who won in that poker game, or everybody who get in that poker game, they give their money to the dude who's running the poker game, and he responsible for all the money. He got to pay out all the money at the end of the game. Whoever ahead, he got to distribute that money out. He responsible, not nobody else. If somebody buck and don't pay, he's still responsible, because he ran the game. He the one that took in the money, and he cut the money. So you got to pay it. If Joe Blow don't pay, you got to pay it either way. You got to deal with Joe Blow. That's your job, to deal with him. But you got to pay me, because I gave you my money. You see what I'm saying? So that's why a lot of dudes don't want to give out money on credit. When dudes come to the game with $20, they lose their $20, and then they turn around and be like, well, give me 10 more. Now, to keep the flow of the game going, dude might give them 10 more. But normally, and the best thing to do is to say, nah, you got to go get it. Go get it and bring it to me. Then I give you the $10. But dudes sometimes will take a dude's word. But then when you do that, you put yourself at risk, because a dude might try to do it and he might got the $10 in the sale, but he might not. He might be trying to get the $10. You give him the $10. He win. He put in 20. He lost 20. You give him 10 on credit. He get in the game knowing he don't have 10 in his sale. He get a good hand and win $40. Then he want to cash out. Then you never knew if he had the $10 in his hand at all, in his sale at all. But he done cashed out now. He get the 20 back he put in. He pay off the 10 that you gave him on credit, and he win 10. Then he go walk around for about an hour and come back, act like he want to get back in the game. See what I'm saying? All of that is larceny. All of that is larceny, but those are the dynamics that goes on with the poker game. Now, like I say, the dude who run the poker game too, not only is he responsible for paying all the money, he also, may be, a dude that don't pay him. He may have to, he may have to go to handle his business. Because when you let one dude don't pay you, then the floodgates gonna open. Everybody else gonna want to get in your poker game, and ain't nobody gonna pay you. Ain't nobody gonna pay you. So you automatically know when you run in the game, you may have to, put that work in. You may have to, bust ahead, and push come to shove, you might have to grab that Bethlehem. Because ain't nobody just gonna let you hurt them. So a dude is already, you got to already assume the dude is already prepared to go to war if he getting in the game with larceny, or if he getting in the game and he playing games, or he doing some sneaky cruddy stuff, whereas to he know it might be drama popped off. So if he know that, you already got to assume that he prepared for war, so you got to be even more prepared for war. So when you run in the game, man, that's all the dynamics that goes with it. You got all of these things that you got to control. You got to control the arguing at the table. You got to control the money. You got to control the pot. It's just super chaos in ultraviolet environment. You know what I'm saying? It's like something that should not be happening, but it happens everywhere, in jails, in prisons, all over the world. I'm sure there's not a prison going on or a jail going on where they're not gambling and playing poker in. I don't believe that at all. Even when they take cards out of the system, dudes will make cards. This is how intelligent dudes, they will make cards to play poker. So it's a crazy game, man. And you got the cheating that's going on with the chips. Two dudes may make their own chips. They got to cut up things, cut up old cards and make chips, put marks on them, and so they can distinguish their chips. And then when you get in the game, they distribute the chips out in the game. They got to keep a chip count to make sure they know how many chips is in the game, how many they put in there. Dudes would look at the chips and try to go duplicate the chips and add more chips in the game, during the game. And at the end of the game, you put $500 worth of chips is all you have. And you done distributed $300-$400, you just spent $300-$400 worth of chips. Then at the end of the game, when all the game is over and everybody turning in their money and chips, and you go to do a chip count and you count your chips, now you got $650 worth of chips. Where the extra chips came from? Don't nobody know. You see what I'm saying? So then you're looking at these chips and try to distinguish your mark and where the extra chips came from, but it ain't nobody gonna claim it if you don't catch it at the beginning. So when dudes leave the table, say, oh, I got to go use the bathroom, whatever, leave your chips at the table. Because dudes will leave and go and pocket some more chips that they got in their cell and bring them back and incorporate them into the game. And by the time they do that, you don't even know till the end of the game. Man, it's a dirty game, man. It's a dirty game, and it's a vicious game. And this is why a lot of people have lost their life in prison and jail playing poker, have lost limbs, eyes, kidneys, have gotten, beat savagely, all over poker. And yet every day somebody line up and set up tables to play poker all over the prison every day. Every day. And I don't even think I've ever been in a poker game that it wasn't some type of controversy. It's somebody arguing, it's a dispute, even if it's a small one, a slight misunderstanding where dudes is arguing with each other. It's always going to be either to that level or to the highest level where it's going to be Bethlehem play, or it's going to be head busting and fight. That's just how poker go. But yet, like I say, dudes line up and play every day without hesitation, man. They wake up and play. Dudes wake up and already have an agenda of playing poker that day. And when you're in prison, it rotates. You have a whole little poker community where dudes may sit there and play every day, maybe 8, 9 dudes, 10 dudes, and they sit there and play. And sometimes you have to limit it like 6, 7 dudes, and you got dudes that's waiting to get in, excuse me, when somebody else is finished, because it ain't enough cards for a certain amount of people to play. You see what I'm saying? For the deal to hands. So it's not enough cards. So some dudes is waiting to play, waiting for dudes to get broke and get in. And then the dude who get broke, if he can't produce no more money, he got to give up his seat and get up and let somebody else come sit there and play, because somebody been waiting to play. But he mad, he irritated, and 9 times out of 10, he wants some smoke because he can't get his money back. He can't get back because he don't have nothing else to get back with. So he might be like, hold up, man, I'm gonna borrow some money. Nah, you can't hold up because somebody waiting to get in the seat. So that right there is gonna create tension and beef right there. Where, man, what you mean? I done lost this amount of money, I can't get back in? Man, you ain't got the money right now, you got to move. No, man, I ain't moving, man. Wait. Such gonna bring me some money. No, bro, you got to go. That's holding up the game. That's causing confusion right there. Right there, something can just pop off. And if something pop off right there, then everybody got to hold their chips. And somebody got to be accountable for that money. You see what I'm saying? Somebody got to be accountable for that money. Now, what if it's the dude that's running the game? He get the rumbling right there, and the police come, and boom, 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 all that's going on. They get locked up. He still got all the money in his cell, and everybody just holding a fistful of chips and can't get paid. You see what I'm saying? So it's just crazy. I know people out here who listening to this might not understand. I know y'all might be saying to yourself, what in the world is y'all getting involved with something like that for? And I couldn't even tell you, man. All I can tell you is I was involved in it, so I can't point the finger. I was involved with it for years and years and decades, man. And it was the adrenaline rush. It was the the cure of boredom. You know what I'm saying? It was the cure to it, because when you was playing, man, you felt like you was doing something. You felt like you was, just not sitting there in prison, just rotting away with no excitement, no fun, no adrenaline rush and nothing, because everything in there is so mundane. It's the same thing every day. Same food, same people, same routine, same all of that, same clothes, same. It's just it's different now. When you playing poker, it's just like you ain't in prison. In your mind, it's like you in another world. You in this gambling world. You in this exciting world. You in this adrenaline rush world. You know what I'm saying? Where anything can happen at any time. And when you win a big hand, man, you feel so good. So it's just like a release of adrenaline, man. It makes you feel like, wow. You know what I'm saying? It's just it's a feeling that you can't explain unless you actually played and been in those situations. And when you lose a big hand, it's the same way. It's like a knife to the heart. It's like, man, why I bet that, man? I could have. You think you had a winner, but you you may not have had a winner. And then, like I say, then the larceny, man. The larceny always gonna come in. Always, man. No matter what, it's always gonna come in. I can remember the first time that I had to address the larceny in poker. The first time, man, and I'll never forget it, because I shouldn't. That right there should have steered me away from poker. Should have told me this ain't something you should be playing, man. Just go ahead and get on away from this foolishness, because this joint right here gonna end up costing you more than you willing to pay, and it's not that serious. But it didn't work out that way, you know what I'm saying? Because, like I say, it's the draw. You always gonna be drawn to it. Because if you don't play and you used to playing, and then you sitting in there every day and you so bored and you watching them over there and you hearing it, oh, ooh, yeah, or just like in a football game or something. It's just so many people hollering. It just looks so alluring and so exciting from the sideline that you want to be in it. It's just when you watching the game, you want to be in the game. But only difference with poker is you can be in it, but once you in it, you in a powder keg, man. But I can remember, like I say, when you get them dudes who run the game and they overextend their hand, they betting more and they actually losing money. So that was my first confrontation with poker. The dude who was running the game, they call that trying to be in every bet. He trying to be in every bet. He like AT&T. He trying to call every hand. He gonna call, I call. So you could tell that he losing. So with the dudes in the game, he losing more than anybody in the game. So when the game was over, right, and he had to go collect the money to pay everybody and everybody turn in their chips, I was to the win. So I'm winning. So I turn in my chips and I'm looking for my money at the end of the day. And when he goes to calculate all the money and he paying everybody, he gonna tell me he ain't got enough money to pay because such ain't put enough money in the game, or the kitty was messed up. All the money won't in the pot. When we know that not to be true, all the money that's missing, you owe, because you was the one that was betting all the money and you was losing. You done lost your cut. You done lost all the money. So it ain't somebody ain't put the money in there, which even if they didn't, you still responsible. It's you. But you trying to lie and you trying to pump game to me, telling me, well, I ain't got it, Banky, man, because such. And do you believe this chump ain't even had the audacity to have, not only to have what I won, he didn't even have all the money that I actually put in. You know what I'm saying? I put money in the game. I couldn't even get that back. And I'm winning. Man, y'all know I wasn't going for that. I wasn't going for that at all, man. I was like, oh no, bro. I said, you got to get that. You got to go bar it or something. You got to get that. He was like, man, I ain't got it, man. Just give me a week or something and I'll get the money. I'm like, I'm going to give you a week to get my money, not even the money that I lost when I put in the game. I said, man, I'm not going to give you a week to get my money. I'm going to give you 30 seconds to get my money.
The bacon special.
Yeah.
Pure deliciousness.
Pure deliciousness, man. My name is Banky, man. Everybody calls me Banky. That's the name that I got from my grandmother when I was young. I'm coming out here after 30 years. Yeah, I ain't got nothing, but I'm gonna have something because I'm rich in personality, you know, and I'm rich in love. My family love me, and that's really all that counts.